My first injury, it was a preseason practice, like an hour long. Probably midway through, we're playing a one-on-one drill, and I was actually going up against Gabby, and we were roommates at the time, and I just did a really hard spin move, and I was like, oh, something happened, and I just went down, and I had a feeling it was my ACL just because it ran in my family. Like, everyone in my family seemed to have torn theirs, so yeah, that's basically how it happened. At first I was like, oh, maybe I just, tweaked it. But then as I started walking around after it happened, I was like, no, my knee feels sloppy. I feel like I couldn't really do a basketball move if I had to. So that's when I realized, like, yeah, something is definitely wrong. And then I had an MRI the next day, and then we got the results really quick, and sure enough, it was my ACL. When I stepped back on the court, I knew that I was gonna have uncomfortable times. I wasn't gonna feel great every single day, but my brothers and sisters were telling me, like, oh, we've been through it, you'll be fine. Like, you'll have off days, you'll have great days, but you gotta take each day one by one. And gradually, as games go by, like, you'll do better, and then you'll start to feel like nothing happened. We were doing a drill, and one of the girls on my team threw the ball up to me, and I just went up for a simple layup, and I just completely, I don't know if I went too hard or what, but my knee just kind of went, and right when I went down, I knew the feeling, I knew exactly what happened. I was like, I tore it again.
I think physically, you look at somebody like Hannah and you're like, wow, this kid has a dynamite body. She is very physically fit and strong. She'll be able to recover. I think the mental side was what I questioned a little bit. How can you mentally recover from 2 ACLs? How is she going to respond? And I couldn't have asked for a better response. She was really, really great during the process and understanding her body and knowing when to push it and when to take a step back. And I give her a lot of credit. That takes a lot of mental toughness to recover from.
Yeah, there were days when I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with someone or cut laterally. But as days go by and my trainer was on me, like, no, you'll be fine, suck it up, get a straw and suck it up. Like, she honestly made me feel like nothing was wrong with me, and that makes a big difference when people are cheering you on and telling you you're fine. And and then gradually you start to realize, like, oh, I can do all this stuff. I'm basically back to normal as the months went by.
The second somebody says, I'm tired or I'm sore, you're like, look at Hannah. Hannah's tired, Hannah's sore, Hannah tore her ACL twice, and look at how hard she's working right now. So I think that having her as an example on the floor is a really great thing to have in a program.
Our first game, I was so nervous. Like, my hands were shaking, I was sweating, and we didn't even warm up yet. I don't think I've ever been that nervous in my life. But it was also a great feeling, like, finally I can show people, like, what I'm capable of. Finally, I'm not that kid who keeps getting hurt every season, which is I've never gotten hurt until I got here. It happens. But yeah, I've never been so nervous, but it was the best feeling. Like, I had people asking me after, like, that have had injuries, and they're like, oh, how did you feel? Like, oh, I felt great. It felt like nothing happened to me. I felt exactly the same as when I was playing before my injuries.